We recognize that this platform symbolizes and should continue to symbolize the valuable contributions of the public and private sectors towards nation building, as reflected in the theme of the conference, which is building 50 years of resources building PNG communities. The resources sector has been, as you all know, a key part of two engine rooms, the public and the private sector, closely supporting government in driving the socio-economic development of our young nation and the aspirations of our people. Aligned with the sub-theme of this conference, PNG Building Communities, or Building PNG Communities, let me also reiterate with a clear and direct position consistent with our country's development aspirations, some Dr. Kwai talk, and that is that the rule of law and the power of the judiciary must always be upheld, not only to safeguard our nation's resources, but the rights of every child, women, and men. As we celebrate 50 years of partnership in development, we recognize that this journey has been marked by mutual growth, progress, plus our fair share of challenges and opportunities. Santos has not only been an energy provider, but also a catalyst for national development. Our commitment to local employment, supply development, business opportunities for landowner companies, our various community and healthcare programs underscores our commitment to complement government's agenda and plans towards building stronger, more resilient communities. Santos undertakes these initiatives very seriously, along with the statutory benefits paid to the state in taxes, royalties, and development levies. Working closely with government, we have not only contributed to the economic landscape of the country, but fostered a genuine sense of community and shared purpose. The theme of the discussion this afternoon, which is security and resource, comes at a crucial time for all of us as we mark the milestone of our Golden Jubilee. We are grateful and welcome the contributions from Dr. Kwa this afternoon, and for him to provide added context on safety, security, the sector, and what support the sector might need from all of us in this room. As we continue our journey to transform, build, and grow our business, it is critical that we have the right values to guide our decision-making and creating a strong business culture that we can all be proud of. At Santos, the Santos values define our beliefs and required behaviors. They reflect how we work, how we respect and treat each other, and importantly, how we interact with all our stakeholders and communities around us. Importantly, our values also ensure we maintain our trust and respect for others, and importantly, and for all of you in this room, our social license to operate. For some of you that may know, and those who don't know, our operational footprint traverses about 6 provinces. If our PNG LNG operator does operations in Western Province, that it might extend to 7 provinces: Southern Highlands, Hela, Gulf, Western Province, Central, and NCD. It goes without saying that a stable and safe operating environment is fundamental for the successful long-term development of the country's oil and gas resources and our mining resources. Santos is a business leader in bringing business and society together to contribute to a stable operating environment. We've got a shared 96-year operating history in PNG that provides a deep understanding of the country, its people, its customs, and how our operations impact them. In terms of community and state challenges, we are facing considerable pressure from community and state challenges, and I'm glad Dr. Kwai is here and some of our government leaders. The challenges are many, and some of them I'll mention. Many of them, you know, the unfulfilled state commitments and lack of government presence. And yes, Dr. Kwa, we take note of the fact that you have village code teams in the villages. There are other parts that will require government presence in relation to subnational governments. We have prolonged delays in payment of landowner benefits, and that becomes a lever for landowners and other community leaders to use to shut us down in terms of project operations. As we all know, there are high expectations. There are growing youth populations, some of which the Secretary has tried to find solutions for in terms of engaging meaningfully. We also try as much to use our LANCOs to help community benefit from development projects as best we can. As most of you know, most of our LANCOs are not required to compete, given where we are in our operating areas. As an example, if they're able to, if they go through a competitive bid process, most of our landowners will not qualify. So we take a conscious decision to be able to help them build capacity over time. Hopefully some of them can get into that space with the Office of the Local National Content with government support to be able to build their capability to meaningfully compete. Earlier today, many of you would have heard from Gary Mazuin, our Senior Manager for Business Development and Local Content, and Elsie Monguru, our Senior Development Manager for Sustainable Development, share some of our work we do on the ground to complement government support in creating economic opportunities and build resilient communities. These initiatives aim to mitigate our risks, but also help to meet community needs. In terms of some of the challenges that we face with government and landowner benefits, we try to support through building capacity for health and education service delivery. What's important is we try to help complement government support and not do government work for government. It's always a delicate balance, but we keep doing it because it's the right thing to do. In terms of opportunities for participation in production or productive employment or self-employment, we work closely with our communities in terms of business development, local content, and we also try to help landowner companies in relation to ensuring that their capacities are competitive. Our investment also addresses youth issues within our communities, including our growing youth population with many disengaged youth. We have offered an education sponsorship program continuously for youths attending tertiary institutions in PNG. Like one of our colleagues said earlier today, is about 3,000 students since '96. We also enhance quality of education via improved school infrastructure. There was a good decision by government to educate our students, but there was little attention to teachers. So we try our best to complement that by doing teacher training as well as learning resource materials. We're also engaging in terms of sustainable agriculture programs, engaging youth in commercial agriculture, and we support our youth-centered programs and engagements through sports programs and youth camps. In relation to the issue of law and order, for our operations, I'll speak to some aspects of our threat characterization or statement. In terms of law and order, Dr. Kwa, criminal behavior is mostly expressed by use of violence. Usually these are triggered by many reasons in the different communities, but usually triggered by landowner discontent and or competition related to monetary benefits. And company operations are often used as leverage for government attention. This situation is made more complex by factors typified by less restraint concerning the use of violence. There's increased prevalence of high-powered weapons, and I'm glad Dr. Kwa has spoken to some of the laws that have been enacted to be able to help mitigate these risks. There's also increasingly networked, technically efficient, and more educated youth perpetrating some sophisticated and coordinated attacks. We have vacuum or breakdown in traditional leadership structures, often encouraged by illegitimate actors to seek power and interest via use of threats, intimidation, or coercion. The nature of our tribal conflict is evolving, as you all know, in your different areas that you operate, with changes to traditional norms and practices used to govern resolution. While our social constraints comprise high unemployment, leading to splinter groups, the strains on the judicial system at large, in respect to law enforcement, judiciary, the magisterial services, corrective services, and the court system, as Dr. Kwa was alluding to earlier. There's escalating cost of living, There's also increase in opportunistic criminality. In terms of the way we engage with our communities, in terms of our approach, it's always, as many of you know, non-partisan, non-aligned with any political party, landowner, or clan group. We try to stay consistent. We work with everybody to understand what the issues are, and we help them to resolve those issues many times by themselves. Our approach are non-political. We work with elected leaders and national, provincial, and local level government leaders of the day to try as best to help. We provide a safe and secure operation for our workforce. We support we're a great supporter of human rights. We have some understandings in place, Dr. Kwa, with government through the police, but there could be more done in relation to how we cascade that down to supporting the village courts and the systems on the ground. We're a big promoter of opportunities for Papua New Guinea. In terms of risk and risk mitigation, our expectations are that the rule of law and the power of the judiciary is upheld at all times, that perpetrators are held accountable for their actions. In other words, criminality must always have legal consequences. There should be respect of rights, including ownership rights, and also companies' rights, mining or petroleum, are right given to us as industry under the respective regulation. Like all investors who desire to make impactful returns for shareholders, Santos continues to contribute meaningfully to the PNG socio-economic development, where business success is measured not only by operational performance, but also by the values and platforms it creates for local people, our stakeholders, and our communities. Our story is one of many. Many of you will share your stories during the week. However, we will all agree and appreciate that as our government leader in this room has spoken and continues to, I know Dr. Kwa acknowledging that government has done a lot of work. You work tirelessly with all your sector partners to try to help, and it's good to have you in the room to provide that balance for context to our industry partners. As we all know, a strong law and order and justice sector must continue to be our collective agenda, where the rule of law should always be upheld and where criminality must have legal consequences in our growing democracy. Thank you to the Chamber for the opportunity to speak, and I wish everyone a safe week ahead. Thank you very much.